episode of Season 5 of Ulay-Ulay sa Baloy ng Kaaraman. I am Jinjin Velasco and I am thrilled to be your new host for today. Today, we're diving deep into the heart of pre-service teacher education. We will be exploring the insights and learnings from the recent Engage 21st Century Pre-Service Teachers Conference held last February 9, 2025 at Ateneo de Naga University. It's not just about knowledge, but about meaning the next generation of educator. Our goal today is to unpack the wealth of information and inspiration gleaned from the Engage Conference. Kaya naman, prepare yourselves for an engaging discussion filled with valuable insights. Today, we are honored to have with us two very special guests who attended and represented our community at the Engage Conference. They are Congressperson Noe O. Portugues and Councilor Joseph Benedict S. Millares. Let us all give them a warm welcome. Magandang araw po.
Magandang araw rin po.
So it's great to have both of you here. So before we get started, maybe you could briefly introduce yourselves and your role within your respective organizations. Noe, let's start with you.
Okay, thank you. Well, hello to our dearest LPM members. I am Noe Portugues as your congressperson in this organization. And I'm happy to share my insight and thoughts and my learnings in the past conference.
So, good day mga ka-LP. I'm Councilor Joseph Benedict S. Millares and I am happy to share with you our knowledge and learnings in the past pre-service convention.
Okay, thank you so much. Thanks for being here today. The convention sounds like it was a jam-packed with the valuable information. I can't wait to unpack it together.
Yeah.
So, sa episode na ito, pag-uusapan natin ang mahalagang aral at karanasan ng natutunan ng ating mga special guests. Sa Engage 21st Century Pre-Service Teachers Conference, we'll be delving into key takeaways, practical strategies, and memorable moments from the event. Let's get started. So, welcome to the show, Congressperson and Councilor Millares. Maraming salamat po for accepting our invitation to be part of Ulay-Ulay sa Baloy ng Kaaraman. We know you both have busy schedules, so thank you for taking a time to share with your experience with us and to our viewers. So we're so excited to hear all about your experience at the conference. So, kumusta po kayo?
Well, we are good, right, Joseph? Masaya kami kasi naging bahagi kami ng ganitong kind of activity of this organization. Kasi hindi isa itong karangalan, it is an honor to be part of this kind of episode and seasons.
Yes.
How about you, Councilor? Kumusta ka po?
So, sabi nga ni Kuya Luigi, masaya kaming dalawa na syempre maibahagi rin sa ating ibang members, lalo na sa mga freshmen na kagaya ko, yung mga experience and natutunan namin dun sa convention na yan.
That's great to hear. So let's jump right into it. So I have a question here. So first question is, what motivated you to represent the organization at the Engage 21st Century Pre-Service Teachers Conference? And how did it feel to be chosen for such an important event?
For me, ako naman, kasi for me, na-motivate ako nung nalaman ko na sabi daw may public speaking daw. So, I try myself. Sabi ko, why not I join? And nagsabi ako kay Mayor, nagsabi ako sa kanya na gusto kong maging sumali or maging part ng ganong mag-represent ng ganong convention. convention, right? Yes, and yun ang nag-motivate sa akin. And also, to our ability, sabi ko sa sarili ko na para na rin ito makatulong ako and ma-share ko yung mga nalaman ko or natutunan ko sa ating LPEM members. That's why I try and join. And it is, for me, it is, treasure ko yung naging, tawag nito, naging, ano ko, experience, right? Yeah, experience.
Ikaw naman ang counselor.
So, ako naman po, nung, di ba, minessage ni Mayor dun sa GC natin. Tapos, nung nalaman ko na Ateneo yung nag-organize, di ako nag-hesitate na mag-chat talaga kasi nung past years ko sa senior high school, naka-attend na din ako sa like seminars na kinandak ng Ateneo and magandang experience yun. First, marami ka talagang matututunan dun and yun nga, yung mga experience magaganda. Then marami ka pang makikilala mga same education students.
Okay, that's why na-motivate kayo na mag-join sa ganung event. So, thank you for sharing that with us. So, it's good to know that we have a people that has a heart for education. So, let's move on to the another questions. What were some of the key activities that took place during the Engage 21st Century Pre-Service Teacher Conference? Can you give us a brief overview of the program?
Programs?
Yes.
Oh yeah, di ba nung unang program is the Talk with Attorney Lene Robredo, right? Yeah, isa yun sa mga hindi ko malilimutan kasi ang naging guest nun is si former Vice President Attorney Lene Robredo. And doon, marami kami natutunan sa kanya. Sumunod naman is yung sa
kay Ma'am Susan Polier.
And ang nakin namin is
yung sa mata curriculum, yung bagong curriculum which is
yung
K to 10
K to 10
curriculum.
Yes, yung title na Navigating the Transition Strategies for Effective Matatag Curriculum Integration. Yes. So, and sumunod naman is nagkaroon din ng sit-down interview again with Ma'am
Kate and Ma'am Donavin. Para sila licensed professional teachers.
Okay, now let's move on to the next question. So, the session on community-based solution to education gaps by Attorney Lene Robredo touches on a crucial aspect of addressing education gaps. So, what key takeaways from her talk resonated most with you? So now let's start with you, Nauji.
Okay, thank you. So, dun sa naging talk sit-down interview with Attorney Lene Robredo is tigtagal niya dun ang community-based solution for education gaps. Sabi mo nga, ito ay ang insights from, it is ang insights from the Bayan Ko, Teacher Ko, or the BKTK program. So, I'll give you a brief information about that program. It starts noong COVID-19 pandemic. And yung program na yun is nagbibigay ng education. Di ba noong COVID-19 pandemic is maraming huminto sa pag-aaral because of the, And then, naisip ni Attorney Lene Robredo na why not we make a program like gano'n na natutulong sa mga teacher like for the giving their students modules and other teaching materials that will help the teacher to teach the students in that pandemic. Yeah.
So ayun, thank you so much. How about you po, Counselor?
So, sabi nga, di ba ni Luigi, it's like enlightenment sa government natin, sa DepEd, na yung mga problems ng students or problems ng teachers sa pagtuturo sa students, like kulang ng instructional materials, ng equipment sa rooms, resources. Ganun, lahat yun nasabi, nabanggit ni Madam Lene. And dun sa ano naman, sa Bayan Ko Teacher Ko program naman, dun sa ano, ginawa nila kasi doon, sabi ni Ma'am Lenny, sa Bayan Ko Teacher Ko program, dun sa, yung sa Balatas National High School ba?
Yes.
Oo, sa Balatas National High School, ano daw, dun sa Naga City, ano daw, una daw, ano na, yung...
Parang meron sila sa...
Oo, yung sa mga, sa students daw may sudden decline daw dun sa reading comprehension ng students, gano'n.
Mga challenges na.
Tapos, yung ginawa daw nila, una daw, pinagmasdan daw nila, binigay nila naman. May iba't ibang schools daw. Then, pare-parehas lang din naman na instructional materials ang binigay sa kanila nung sa Bayan Ko Teacher Ko program. Pero, nung after a month,
Yeah, it take nung months yung ano nila.
after months daw, yung sa Balatas daw, though may progress naman, kaso daw, ang nangyayari is konti kaysa dun sa ibang schools na
Parang
na-implementan ng Bayan Ko Teacher Ko.
parang nawali sila compared sa ating kalimutan.
Then, ang ginawa nila, like, monitoring sa students, ang nang lumabas daw is, yung ibang students daw kasi, hindi pumapasok. Hindi pumapasok kasi minsan wala makain,
Yeah.
baon. So, ang ginawa daw ni Madam doon, yung Madam Lenny, ano daw, feeding program para sa lahat. Ang gusto daw sana nila, para sa mga malnourished lang. Kaso, nung sabi ng teacher, syempre daw yung ibang bata. Sa term natin sa Bicol, maara or maiinit daw. Ano? Kasi, syempre, yung iba, tapos...
Oo, yung ibang bata. If sila lang yung nakikita nilang kumakain.
Oo, gano'n. Tapos, yung ano daw, di kapos, lahat daw, binigyan na. So, nung naman, ang kids daw nun, nung lahat naman na binigyan, syempre,
Inulang sa...
Hindi, yung may mga malnourished, naging normal yung weight. Tapos, yung mga dati naman na normal yung weight, naging overweight daw. Ganon.
Inasobrahan yung improvement.
Oo.
Yes.
Kaya daw, sabi daw ni Madam Lenny, lahat daw ng possible na tinignan nila. Kaya, ayun, lumabas yung mga malnourished na lang yung ilong niya.
Binibigyan ng para sa feeding program. Sila na lang yung mga...
Kasi daw yung overweight or
overweight is na rin siya sa bilang malnourished na. Oo.
Okay, so that's right. So, minonitor nila yun para malaman nila kung sino ba dapat ang pagtuunan natin talaga ng vaccine. So, it's so important to get insight from expert as a pre-service teachers, especially when it comes to addressing educational gaps. So, thank you for sharing that to us now. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question. The navigating the transition strategies for effective Matatag curriculum integration. Sessions focuses on how we can adapt and integrate new curriculum. So can you share any challenges you think teachers might face during this transition and how can we best support them?
Ako naman. Okay. So, di ba dun sa balikan natin yung kayo ng problem sa malnutrition. Dito sa sinasabing strategies dyan, sa questionnaire is connected rin kasi sabi dito, according to the PISA or the Program for International Assessment, malnutrition also hinders our children's learning. Sabi daw, according sa Pilipinas is 1 out of 3 Filipino children under 5 are undernourished and thus not ready to learn. So, sa tingin ko, ito yung isa sa mga naging problem and mga tawag nito, challenges na kinaharap ng Matatag curriculum integration.
And how about you naman?
So, ako naman, yung sa kay Ma'am with Ma'am Susan Coliano,
Yeah.
nabanggit niya kasi dun yung matatag curriculum yung from K to 12 gagawing K to 10, i-implement ang ganun. So, tinitignan kong challenges dun para sa mga teachers. Kasi dun sa K to 12 may specific programs. Tapos ano daw, sa K to 10 babawasan daw yung mga programs and yung content mismo ng ituturo ng teacher is mababawasan. So, I think ang challenge dun sa mga teachers is kung paano nila may tatatak doon sa students yung knowledge na kailangan nila pagdating sa college. Kasi, di ba, alam naman natin na sa K-12 senior high, nire-ready tayo sa pagpasok natin sa college. Pero, paano na ma-ready yung mga students na gaya natin kung tatanggalin na yung K-12? Kaya, naisip kong challenges ng teachers.
So, ayun sa paghahanda. Okay. So, navigating the transition can be hard, especially sa mga ating teachers. And so, yung insight niyo po ay malaking tulong. So those are important points, can be difficult, but with the right support, of course, we can make the transition smoother. So now, education is all about creating lasting impact. So how do you think we can ensure that enthusiasm and joy fostered in the classroom are maintained in the long run? How about ikaw po muna, counselor?
Para sa akin, kasi, di ba, future elementary teachers tayo.
Yes.
So, sa classroom natin, kailangan laging active, masaya, ganun. Kasi, ang learning ng mga bata is nakadepende rin sa paano tayo magturo, kung paano yung atmosphere natin dun sa loob ng room. So, ako naman, for me, siguro, para mapanatili natin yung masayang atmosphere sa room. Maybe we can implement activities like kung baga sa atin, mga icebreakers, ganun. Mga pwedeng laruin ng students before the lessons, mga yung kung paano magiging mas masaya yung mood nila sa araw na yun.
So in short, yun yung motivational activity before we proceed sa lesson proper, kung saan magkakaroon ng energy yung mga bata na matutulog talaga sila. And how about you naman po, congressperson?
Sa akin naman, depende sa teacher yun. Kasi the teacher is the main instruction material,
Yes,
diba? Tama. So, sa akin, pag ang teacher is parang walang energy, ang kalalabasan niya is wala rin energy yung mga students, sila possible.
Kumbaga, magre-reflect yun sa mga students.
Magre-reflect rin. So, as a future educator, dapat kailangan nating maging energetic and dapat palagi tayong mabuhay. Yeah, to make sure our students will be active and mas matututo sila. Kasi the more the mas tawag dito, the more na mas
interactive.
The more na mas interactive yung room ng ating tinuturuan, the more na mas may engage yung mga student na matuto. Oo. Yeah.
Okay, now let's move on to the next question. So in the public speaking workshop, what was the most valuable skill or technique you learned, and how do you plan to use it in your role within the organization or as a teacher?
Sa akin ako naman una.
Yes.
Ito sa akin, napagpunta ko yung STAR method. So, ito sa akin, parang effective ito kasi dito sa public speaking, ito yung parang strategy to speak sa unahan. Kasi sa STAR method, abbreviation siya. S means to share a story. Then T is to highlight a task. A, describe the action. And R, reveal the result. Sa pamamagitan nito, makaka-deliver tayo ng maayos. Mas madali tayong magsalita sa unahan na parang hindi tayo mauutan. Parang kagaya ko ngayon na utal-utal na tatameme. Parang gano'n niya. So, yun ang naano ko. Parang naging tumatak sa akin noon sa public speaking.
So, ayun pala, at
The
least
STAR method.
enhance na rin yung confident mo in your self-esteem. So, how about you naman po ang counselor?
Ako naman sa public speaking, ang natandaan ko talaga doon is yung quote na sinabi niya yung, or ano ba? Ano yung tawag? Sabi kasi ni Sir, ano daw, great speakers are made, not born. So, para sa akin, kung sabi nga ni Sir, kung ang great speakers ay ginagawa, are minumol, so kahit ikaw mahihain, kung gugustuhin mo, kaya mo maging great speaker, kaya mo mag-aral na maging good mentor sa iba, lalo na sa atin, kailangan natin maging good speaker kasi magiging teacher tayo. Paano tayo magtuturo sa mga bata if di natin alam kung ano sasabihin sa unahan, kung ano ituturo natin sa mga bata. So wala rin silang matututunan. Kaya yun yung tumatak talaga sa akin. Kasi para rin yun sa mga sa ibang students na feeling nila pag nagsasalita sila sa unahan, ginajudge sila ng isa. Yun,
parang karamihan naman ang naranasan yun.
Kaya madami yung parang nanginginig sa
yes, or natakot sila.
Kasi yun ang mindset nila.
So yun yung tumatak talaga sa akin yung public speaking.
Okay, thank you so much po. And for me, public speaking is a vital skills talaga para sa ating mga future teachers. So thank you po. And so now let's move on to the next question po. So looking back on your experience at the convention so far, what have been the most memorable moments and how have they influenced your perspective on education?
Sino ba? Ako naman. Okay. Balik tayo sa kay Atty. Lene Robredo. Kasi may sinabi siya doon ako regarding sa pagiging leadership and sa ating teacher. Kasi sabi doon sa quote na yun is, end goal must be clear to achieve it. As a leader, kailangan nating i-organize ang ating mga ginagawa. Kumbaga dapat klarado at madaling maintindihan ng mga members natin upang mas madali natin ma-implement yung plano. Like, for example, similar sa room. As a teacher, kailangan nating ma-organize na ang ating mga students at dapat pag mag-deliver tayo ng topic is maintindihan nila. Dapat yun ang mag-isipin natin. Kaya naman, yun ang tumatak sa akin. Yes, memorable and a lesson na rin for me as a future teacher.
That influence your perspective to education.
Yeah.
So how about you naman po, counselor?
So ako naman, yung memorable moment ko is yung mga sit-down interviews with Ma'am Lenny, then yung kay Ma'am Kate
And Donald.
Kay Ma'am Kate and kay Ma'am Donalyn. Kasi yun talaga yung bumago sa perspective ko sa education. Kasi doon nga sa nasabi nila, kay Ma'am Donalyn kasi yung sa instructional materials nung pandemic, then pinursige niya talaga yun na magawa yung mga instructional materials na yun kahit nung una, as in halos walang tumutulong sa kanya lahat daw ng gasto sa kanya, lumapit din daw siya sa iba. Nagbigay naman kaso, kulang pa rin. So, yun talagang sa akin kasi kaya natin, kahit tayo lang, mga teachers, mahihirapan tayo pero kakayanin naman natin basta first, di tayo susuko sa kung ano talagang gusto natin abutin. Kung anong gusto natin mangyari, lahat talaga may paraan. Parang sa pag-aaral natin, kung gusto talaga natin makapasa, maging teacher, then gawin natin lahat ng paraan ng makakaya natin.
Yes, magpursige tayo.
That's right. So, ayun, maraming mga memorable moments or experience tumatak talaga sa inyo. And Those sounds like a truly impactful experience. So, last question. So, overall, what do you believe is the most important message or lesson from the convention that you would like to share with your colleagues who couldn't attend?
So, ako, para sa akin, yung may bigay kong message is, balikan natin yung sa kay Lenny, yung galing kay Lenny, kasi gusto ko talaga i-share yun sa inyo, yung sa end goal must be clear to achieve it. Kasi as a future teacher, kailangan natin maging leader and facilitator. And dapat sa ating as a future teacher, habang nag-aaral pa tayo, matutunan tayo kung paano mag-organize ang classroom and how do we handle student na nasa mga age from 7 to 13 kasi alam natin mga kulit yun. Kaya naman itong quote na to is talagang tumatak sa akin na we need to be clear and specific to the topic and lessons na dapat na ibigay natin sa mga tuturo natin sa mga students. Yeah.
So, ikaw naman po ang counselor.
So ako naman siguro ano ko na lang na learning na ma-i-share ko para sa mga hindi nakapag-attend. Yung ano na lang about sa sa workshop namin yung hapon sa public speaking. Kasi naniniwala talaga ako na para sa akin, essential talaga sa ating mga future educators na dapat talagang confident tayo pag nagsasalita tayo sa unahan. Kasi sabi nga nila, teacher is the foundation of all the professions. Kaya paano natin sila matuturuan if hindi tayo confident? So, para sa ating lahat, yung para na-apply natin yung sinabi ni Sir sa ating lahat, yung great speaker, are made not born. Kasi tayo, nung pinanganak tayo naman, diba? Pumasok tayo sa college or pumasok tayo sa high school, wala naman talaga tayong kaalam-alam pa. Ano na lang tayo, minold tayo ng teacher natin, talagang sila na lang nag-shape sa atin kung ano tayo ngayon, kung ano yung mga knowledge na meron tayo. Then, mai-share din natin sa mga future students natin.
Yes, tama. So, thank you so much, Congressman Novici and Councilor Joseph, for sharing your experience and insights with us today. It's clear that the Engage 21st Century Pre-Service Teacher Convention was a significant event, and you both brought back valuable knowledge and inspiration to share. So, indeed, thank you for helping us to understand the key and takeaways and how they can be applied to improve pre-service teacher education. So this has been an extremely informative, engaging episode of Oralay Ulay sa Baluing Kaaraman.
Thank you rin for having us, kami ni Congressman Luigi. And syempre naman, happy kami na ma-share din yung mga kaalaman namin sa mga ating ibang members ng LP.
And I would like to say thank you for choosing us to represent the League of Pre-Service Elementary Educators in the Engage Convention. And we are from the deepest of our heart, we say thank you and thank you for choosing us to represent that kind of event.
Yes, and we are honored and grateful naman po. Before we end this enlightening episode, I want to take a moment to express our deepest gratitude to both of you, Congressman and Councilor, for accepting our invitation and sharing your vision. I believe many of us have gained valuable insights and realization today. So if you also want to share something that you have learned in our episode today, you may comment down in the comment section para makita rin ng iba pa nating viewers. So let's start a conversation about the ideas and resonate with us. Our audience, thank you for tuning in and making this program a success. Your support is invaluable to us. Hanggang dito na lang mga ka-LP. Ako nga pala ang inyong bagong host, Jinjin Velasco, at magkita-kita tayo muli dito pa rin sa nag-iisang talk show ng League of Pre-Service Elementary Educators, ang DXCCAT program, Uralay-Ulay sa Baluy ng Kaaraman. Bye for now.